Hello, everybody out there. It's 1 minute to 5, or 1 minute to 8, or 7, depending on whatever time zone you live in. Welcome to the BanjOcarina of Time Randomizer Tournament 2. It's our second one, back by popular demand with as many runners as ever. We got 14 people all struggling it out to compete for whatever fame and fortune awaits, and a small prize pool to boot. Today we have the first match between, I think, last year's reigning champion, Konditioner. I can't remember if he got first or second last year, but I think it was first. This year, third seed. And on the right side, we have the name that I forgot to put in. So let me quickly do that, because for some reason I can never do this without, forgetting something. TSRStormed. TSR will be hosting the Banjo Randomizer tournament next month. So say hi, everybody.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, chat?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dominate this. Let's go. No.
Yeah, Konditioner, third seed in the tournament. TSR had an astonishing time for all of his races this year.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Joining me on commentary, hopefully he's still here, I have Lord Fluffy.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm still here, amazingly.
Awesome. Competed last year, will be competing this year, so hopefully we see some good things there. Thank you for the reminder to screen share. I haven't done that yet, even though it was on my radar. Both runners have the same hash. All we need to hope for is that I generated seed with the right settings, but I've been doing it all month, so it should be the same thing. One last thing, we have a new tracker setup designed for me by Lolloway. He will be competing, and he is second seed in the tournament, so we'll be looking forward to his matches as we go on. TSR, you might want to create a file there.
Oh yeah.
That might be important.
Yeah, just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get everything started.
That should be good now.
Yeah. So, what's that song you guys are starting with? Sun Song?
That is Sun Song.
Yeah.
Sun Song?
Sun Song's our free song. And we got a free starting Goron's Ruby. I'm still kind of figuring out how to use this thing, so yeah, hopefully it'll all be good as we go along. Okay, so both players ready to go?
Yep.
I believe so.
Okay, I'll count you guys down, and then we'll get ready to go. So, 3, 2, 1, go. And good luck to y'all.
Good luck, guys.
Yep. Thanks.
Alrighty, so differences this year in the tournament. We have random starting locations, which is the graveyard. So that's an interesting location. Another difference we have this year is we have key rings on the overworld. No longer will small keys appear in dungeons. They'll be on key rings, and you collect all of them at the same time.
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, it's mostly what is the current standard settings with those like minor differences in there. And I've got to say, having played with the key rings, I do really enjoy them as a item concept, and putting them in the overworld has made these seeds definitely more interesting. Albeit, GDO, maybe somebody else should roll the seeds in the future. You've had some bad streaks with bad seeds.
Yeah, I do have a very bad reputation of rolling seeds, as we saw in last year's qualifiers, this year's qualifiers, and I did roll some good practice seeds for everyone to play. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of good practice ones so far. I did get my best ever randomizer time with one of them. But then you also had me do one which had me logically double dip into Spirit Temple without Requiem. So thanks for that.
Yeah. So it looks like TSR is going for the CAC as child play. We got our first hint coming through. Colossus's Deku Seeds. So using our fancy little tracker here, we can mark off that it's dead. Oh, and he got a small keyring for somewhere.
That was the Forest Temple small key ring. That is in the open grotto in CAC. So that is important. Forest Temple, a location very often required for these seeds.
Yeah.
And also a small little thing with these seeds as well, if you're not aware. Certain dungeons have shortcuts enabled. The Forest Temple is one of them. So that elevator that leads down into the room before the boss door is open the entire time in these seeds. So if our runners, for example, don't actually need to do any checks in Forest Temple, just need to clear it to get going, they can just go right there as long as they have the boss key.
Yeah.
So
I found out the hard way, not clearing easy dungeons that are hard to get to is very punishing. Going into Jabu for just the boss and not getting any of the items definitely hurt me in a seed that I generated with these settings, having my only magic. My only logical magic.
chickens.
Oh,
there we go.
Barely made it. Condi barely made it.
3 seconds on chickens there. A little bit close to not getting that, but no reward, unfortunately, from that. Regardless,
Yeah.
we're seeing Stormed right now just farming up some money. A decent idea to do at the start, but some more important checks can be acquired in the meantime.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing Stormed heading on over to Lon, so he's falling behind Konditioner here. Going to head on over to Malin for the song check here.
I do
Very
know that
important one to get
Konditioner
early.
likes rushing songs as fast as he can. And so we got a Vanilla Epona's song.
Yeah, rushing songs early can be good because especially if you get like Bolero or Minuet, for example, especially Minuet, because that will unlock 2 checks very instantly on its own. Rushing those can get you a big chain of songs very quickly as a result. So I definitely agree, like rushing songs, if you can do so, is a pretty strong start to do with these seeds.
Yeah, especially if you get bad starting positions. A lot of blue rupees early on in this seed. Not a whole lot of checks. Then again, we still have yet to see the bottom of the graveyard, as well as I guess we did see the back of graveyard from TSR, or the back of CAC, the man on the roof and the hole. So I don't know. I feel like I always have a bad habit of rushing adult as soon as I can to do all the delicious checks in CAC, whereas I mean a lot of early child stuff is like pretty easy to get, and also you kind of, I don't know, Sphere Zero stuff I tend to look over.
Yeah, those early CAC checks are definitely important. Especially in standard styled seeds, the chances of CAC having a Way of the Hero item is significantly higher due to the sheer number of checks and how many of them are Sphere Zero. So, with that in mind, that rushing to adult thing makes a lot of sense, and we're not seeing that from either player so far. Although Konditioner here may be taking this little path and then going to head on over to... Nope, we're actually going to head on over to Kokiri Forest, head over to Mido's house properly. Again, 4 Sphere Zero checks right then and there.
Yeah.
No, but we don't really have any items to start with, so I definitely agree with this play. You either go adult here to go do what you can as adult, or you go to Mido's house. You can also get the Kokiri Sword chest. Take a little bit of extra time for that if you want to be safe. So...
Yeah, and especially if you go adult and you don't find any items right away, there really isn't a lot that you can do after that, because most of the adult stuff is locked behind either like hookshot or the bow, or I mean having a Pona kind of thing, getting into access to the Gerudo area, and all the temples and stuff. But and everything on the field is locked behind bombs as well, so hopefully they'll find some item starting right away in Mido's house to kind of get them going, and maybe they can go check out Lost Woods, or who knows? Maybe they'll find an early sword and can kind of knock out a quick Deku Tree kind of thing.
And not a common thing to find early. I've found that early sword with these settings, but even still, we're seeing Condi heading on over. Speaking of, to the Piri Sword chest. Will this have something we will have to see? Very good routing on grabbing the rupees on the way here. And here we go. Have we got?
Just another red rupee.
All right, and this is smart because he's playing Sun Song. That's going to reset him back to the start, so he doesn't have to go out through the walkway here. Good time save. Good time save planning to also get the skull in the meantime. So that right there is like why Condi last year is the champion. Ooh, Fire Temple keyring from there. That's going to be good for Fire Temple checks as well. You can get plenty of fire checks and the hook shot early. So we're going to see Storm to get that as well. And the slingshot. Mido's house, once again, just loaded.
Yeah, Mido's house was pretty loaded. Like, two major items. I guess the slingshot opens up Lost Woods. Thank goodness it's right there. And it looks like TSR, he's going to be grabbing his Mido's house items as well right now. Hookshot does gain access to, I guess, an out-of-logic forest temple as well.
All right, Song of Storms is on Burning Cack, so that'll be something interesting to see in the future. If that will be required or not. If we see a bottom of the well Way of the Hero hint, that will be interesting in and of itself, but you may not know. Slingshot check is out, just a purple rupee, and yep, Condi is going to do the Ocarina game, everyone's at least favorite minigame in the game for sure. But still a Sphere Zero in the terms of these settings. It's still a Sphere Zero. So
yeah, thank goodness they knocked it down for Randomizer to only have to play to 5 notes instead of 7.
Oh man,
or was it 8?
It's like 8, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. It's 7 or 8. It's too many. No matter what it is, it's too many.
When I started playing Rando, they still hadn't knocked that down yet, so you still had to play all 3 different legs. Oh, it's bombs!
It's a bomb bag too. We're looking at a really short seed so far. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon. Magic is always in a meme spot when I generate seeds, but I mean, a bomb bag's gonna open up the rest of Lost Woods. It's gonna open up all the stuff that you can do in Sacred Forest. It'll let him get access to Goron City as well. And we got another hint here. I saw a Song of Time.
Song of Time in Composer's Grave. So, potentially something you can avoid if you're Condi, because Song of Time, not particularly useful in most seeds. Very niche in usage across the board in most situations. When you'll run into something you can do with Song of Time, you can usually do it with something else. So we'll have to see if that comes into play later on. Even still, we now have the Scrub Grotto here. That's going to contain a check. The Scrub on the left here. Good avoidance of the nuts. So often I will shoot that a Deku Seed and hit the nut and be bad because I put my thing away and then he goes back into the ground. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, and that early grinding they did for rupees really helps in Lost Woods now because they have a chance to pay off all the scrubs. We got another hint coming from TSR. Bolero is vanilla.
Alright, so this is notably a check that Condi has not done yet. It is nothing, so we'll see if Condi does show to do it. Ooh, good setup. I think I have to copy that. That is a good setup for Broken Stick, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
A classic.
Very good.
Also, how hilarious that out of the 6 sometimes hints, 3 of them that we found so far are all for songs.
Ooh, Pharaoh is early in the seed, too. That's one of those things with proper planning. You can save so much time in the long run with that. So, if we get early magic in this seed, who knows? Maybe some big brain Pharaoh's plays will be coming in this time around.
Yeah, I mean, even if it isn't early magic, like Furor's, as long as it's sometime magic before the end, you know, it's really nice to be able to drop Furor's Wind, like, right before you go up to that final staircase in Ganon's castle. So that way you don't have to do the long climb all the way up again.
Yeah, for sure. I got so many of those seeds that you rolled just had light arrows. You didn't need them to get to Ganon. Oh, and vanilla minuet of forest as well. This will at least mean that the minuet check itself, sorry, French vanilla, not actually vanilla, but I digress. So Flare Dancer, so that's a Megaton Hammer, is Deku Nuts, so that's a good thing to know. That takes forever to get to in terms of the Fire Temple. I always love getting that sometimes hint.
Yeah. That's the, yeah, that's... Is that the longest check, I guess, in Fire Temple? Maybe
Absolutely,
aside
yeah.
from Pierre, but I mean, you can get that early on. Frogs 2 is dead.
Dead.
That's a
Good.
helpful one to get. And what else do we have here? 50 Skulls is dead. So not having to get all 50 Skulls is a blessing. Did TSR fail the Ocarina game?
I think
feel
he
like he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he on the slingshot game when Condi got into Sacred Forest Meadow? Well, either way, he's got the bombs now, so he's just trailing behind Condi at this point, having taken a slightly different route for a couple things. So maybe he'll be able to catch up later on. But right now, it is Condi definitely has at least a little bit of the lead in terms of getting through all of these checks across the board. So in his favor currently.
There you go, Snopey. It's not Noik turn anymore.
Noik turn.
Noik turn.
Right, so Condi is going to leave here, seeming like he's going to take the extra time to close out all the child checks while he is in this state. Is he? Okay, so he's just changing it to nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what this accomplishes, but
Probably so he can do Dampe. He's gonna save quit,
Oh.
do Dampe.
smart actually.
Yeah.
I did not actually consider that.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
then
smart.
who knows if he'll do the graveyard stuff as well, the Sunsong Grave, and all that other stuff. He could wait to do it as adult, but I guess we're about to find out. Yeah. Meanwhile, TSR decided to take a trip into Child Goron City, did the Rolling Goron, and only got a Deku Shield from it. Condi
also
digs up
get
Dampe and he gets magic!
Oh my goodness!
So,
Early magic.
Yep,
Wow.
there's that early magic that you called, so it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, at the state that this seed is going, there's a very good chance that Condi could be done at the 2-hour mark. And a big wallet to go with that as well. You know, just get more money in your pocket. Just be ready to go. Like, so many things are available to Condi right now. The Sunsong Grave, as he's going for right now, you can do Bomb Shoe Bowling once you go to market. The Slingshot minigame as well is also available. When you go adult, you can just do the entirety of the dongos very quickly, no issue whatsoever. Like, Condi has options here right now. Just plenty of places he can go. And he's got a notable lead over TSR in that regard. So, really seeing if he can carry that forward or if TSR will do something out of the blue. Bomb shoes as well, you know, get some little extra explosives for your help.
Yeah.
For your troubles. Rather.
And yeah, I agree, Brad. Like, usable Furor's Wind in 14 minutes is actually really crazy. I was gonna say for the people watching the stream, heart piece in or box in Graveyard's Dead, the settings for this seed is something I forgot to go over at the beginning. In order to get access to Ganon's castle, they need 4 medallions. So they do need 4, like, out of the 6 medallions in order to get access to Ganon's castle. But in order to get the Ganon's boss key, they need to have 6 completed dungeons. So it can be any of the stone dungeons or the medallion dungeons. So they kind of have a choice of where to go. So throughout the tournament, we might be seeing some different dungeons be done. But, I mean, obviously the logic wants you to go in certain directions. So we'll see what happens with that as we progress.
Alright, so TSR picked up Pharaoh's Wind, heading on over to grab the Minuet here. We'll also get the hint in the process. So Condi right now doing the Redead Grotto in Cack. In regards to the big chest, nope, we do not use the chest side matches contents setting for these. You still have to get basically everything. TSR going to grab that hint and now headed on his way down here. Where he goes from here will kind of determine if he can maybe potentially catch a small advantage over Kondi, who is well ahead in the efficiency of checks so far overall in this seed.
Yeah, Kondi's skull count isn't that bad either. 6 skulls at only 16 minutes in.
Yeah, gonna get a 7th here. If he chooses to go up Death Mountain Trail, can get an 8th in that bombable wall in as well. So he goes from here is going to determine a few things.
Yeah. Alright. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Kondi go to Hyrule Castle at this point, or in that direction. Like, he's cleared out a lot of stuff, gotten a lot of items that he can use as adult, and I mean, like we said, he can. He can only really clear Dodongos. He has fire keys for Fire Temple. So far, the runners don't have any Way of the Heroes or Baron hints. They've only seen all the sometimes hints. So, I mean, where to go from here is kind of up in the air. I do think going adult would give you a little bit of access, especially with the hook shot, and you can clear out the rest of Graveyard. You can get the song from CAC, which could be a warp song, and then you could do that, chain warp songing, especially with Minuet, being able to get back to the forest real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Kondi right now, and especially TSR, now that he's basically caught up in terms of... Oh, there we go. Our first Way of the Heroes Sacred Forest Meadow. So that will almost certainly at this point be the song from the adult song check, which I'm going to call being Zelda's, but potentially could be something else. We'll have to see on that front. Either way, there's still plenty of options for everybody in this whole... where you go from here is still completely up in the air. Like I said, you can go to Bomb Shoot Bowling into Slingshot, Slingshot into Bomb Shoot Bowling. You could forego going directly to CAC and then to Dodongos to do all of the bombable grottos outside on Hyrule Field.
Yeah, I imagine they probably will be doing that a little bit later, because I feel like doing the bombable grottos on the field is not super worth unless you have Epona.
Notably, they do have Eponas.
Challenge Soy, so this tournament is the BanjOcarina of Time Randomizer. It's a randomizer tournament that is exclusive to runners in the Banjo speedrunning community. So it's just a fun little community race tournament that we're doing again. And I just thought it was a funny name, so. Plus, you get to shorten it by saying Booter, so I think Booter just sounds really funny.
Booter is a fun thing to say, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Both runners going in for kind of the same thing here. I guess the only difference is Kondi has cleared out a lot of the skulls in CAC, and TSR has done Goron City.
Yeah, that's a major difference for sure. Those early skulls may be required, they may not. Even still, it's definitely a good idea to pick up as many of those as you can. Din's Fire from Richard. So Kondi gonna grab that, immediately use Sun Song, and now he'll probably go and grab Bomb Shoot Bowling and the Slingshot minigame as well. We're seeing TSR do that right now, doing the Slingshot minigame. So we can probably grab all of these items for marking down on the tracker here at this point.
Yeah, Din's Fire is really handy to get now, especially before they get Zelda's Lullaby, because now when they go into the grave, they don't have to do the crazy, flame storage in order to light the torches. They can just drop in. Oh, TSR doesn't actually have magic yet. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he didn't actually pick up magic. That's not...
Yeah, he hasn't been back to the graveyard yet, so... I mean, he could go to the graveyard and then, with the ZL to, get the song and then be like, oh, may as well do Dampe while I'm here. If he doesn't do Dampe, then it could be problems, but...
Bomb Shoot Bowling had nothing, so...
Yeah, Slingshot game also had nothing.
Actually, it had Ganon's castle small keys, which
Oh, it did. I missed that part.
one. It's one check that you get from that technically, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but it is still worth noting.
Yeah. I mean, you never know, like, Strength 3 being required for whatever. Light Trial is very notorious for having, you know, important items sometimes.
You know, like in all three of the preliminary sleeves, maybe.
Yeah. We got our first Baron hint. No items in Gerudo Training Ground, which is pretty
Wow.
big, actually.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. GTG foolish? Did I just read that correctly? Oh, that is actually huge. For the record, there is like 20 some odd checks in these settings in Gerudo Trading Ground. So knowing that you don't have to go there and how far away it is from any warp song in general.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got more stuff. So Market, Way of the Hero. Fountain is foolish. So what they get in Market? They got the Ganon's keys and they got Din's Fire.
Skull Mask is a blue rupee. And
we already have that hint. Okay, good.
All right. Yeah. Also, the definite like something to note is, you know, with them having Eponas early, it means they could go to GTG at any time. So knowing that it's foolish is going to definitely influence routing for sure going forward.
Yeah. So I thought I saw from that Jabu Sapphire is vanilla, but we're about to find out where our medallions are at. And yeah, Kondi just skimmed through hints. He fills in stuff when he has time. So
for me, I just keep it all up in the brain case. I'm pretty good at remembering stuff like that for the most part. So
yeah. All right, let's have a look at where our medallions are. Dodongo, Fire, Deku, Shadow.
TSR just skimming through it. Probably going to use the start menu to grab it later.
I didn't see where Spirit and Shadow were.
I did not either at this point.
So anyway, Deku and Dodongo's being medallions is pretty big, I think. What'd they start with? They started with the Goron's Ruby. Lolaway's tracker doesn't give access to free, so... The last two were Spirit and Water. Alright, I'll take your word on that. Oh, Kondi has it filled out on his tracker. Fire, Deku, Shadow, Spirit, Water, DC. Yep, okay. Perfect. And then Forest Temple and Jabu, and then none is the thing. Oh yeah, I guess we could just put it on their tracker. There we go. I forgot I could do that.
TSR immediately warps over to Minuet, grabs Zelda's Lullaby, and is actually going to head into Forest Temple early. So interesting choice here. Probably just going to go ahead and do more or less everything that he can without the bow. Kondi, on the other hand, is going to immediately head on over to the graveyard. Sorry, not yet. He's going to get the Sphere Zeros that he can get as a Dalton CAC. Deku Nut will come out. You know what time it is for that.
Yep. Yeah, I do agree with that, Electric Fortune. Like, going into Forest Temple without bow or strength is something else, isn't it? Alright, so we got Requiem coming from the Man in the Windmill.
Yeah, no Song of Time as well means you're pretty limited in the checks that you can get at this point. You can basically only do, I believe, like 4 checks for this. You need Strength for Forest because the pushable blocks later on in the dungeon require Strength in order to actually push them, and you can't actually navigate through it without glitches otherwise. And since this is the standard rule set, any form of like collision clipping like that is disallowed. Kondi into Dompe here. That's gonna see. I'm gonna call a 51. 51 seems like a comfortable number for the Dompe race personally. Yeah, it's a vanilla requirement that it requires strength. You just don't know that because when you're playing through the game vanilla, you would normally have the Goron's bracelet at that point. So um, you don't necessarily think about it when you go into the Forest Temple because of that, right? So makes sense.
I feel like I'm messing up the things on this tracker here. Alright, I think that's right.
49 from Kondi.
I don't know.
Pretty good, pretty good. Ooh, the big Goron sword. That's some damage coming out. Very good to see on that front. Much easier quick kills from that. Kondi, you don't have the Song of Time, my guy.
Oops!
Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, so he's on his way out of there.
All right, so we can see the adult spawn location
Yeah.
here.
Hopefully
very
it's
least
not
with that.
somewhere super terrible.
Maybe it'll be in CAC for the 60th time. Who knows?
Ooh, it's a
Oh,
Hyrule
that's actually not bad. Actually, you can get places there with that. So Kondi's gonna go get Zelda's Lullaby now. We'll see if he chooses to go into Forest without bow or strength. My guess is the no. I'm assuming he's gonna play Requiem right after this. Actually, it looks like okay, he is actually going into Forest Temple as well. Interesting. Not something I would particularly do myself, but hey, we take those.
Nope.
All right, blue rupee in that bottom chest there. I don't recall if TSR picked up the boss key here, but I'm pretty sure at this point he's done basically everything he can here, so...
Yeah. I mean, Kondi doing the same thing. He's in Forest Temple, no strength, no bow. So... Oh, Kondi just came in here for the skull and doing the first check.
Actually, that's pretty smart.
Yeah,
Don't commit super hard in that front, for sure.
Yeah, probably just to be like, well, I'm here. I got the song. I may as well just see what's in the first room and dip out. I'm honestly surprised that he didn't Requiem out to see what the song was at Spirit Temple, and then he could save and quit. But now that he has Zelda's Lullaby, he probably wants to go back to Graveyard so he can finish clearing that out, especially since he was so rudely interrupted the first time. But yeah, now that he has Zelda's Lullaby, he can, go in, do the Composer Grave, and then he can get out. And I mean, he knows that Song of Time is in the Composer Grave, so I don't know, maybe with Song of Time he can do something else. Or he's going to Dodongo's.
There is also, I believe he has 10 skulls at this point, so he's
Oh yeah, that
probably,
was 10 skulls.
he's gonna be heading into get the 10 skull check real quick. Let's see what we got here.
Just a piece of heart.
Nothing of note, but no big deal regardless. TSR heading over to the Deku tree.
Yeah, he's coming over to get the skull on the back of the house.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes I forget this one exists because I only think about it when I do Skull Sanity.
Yeah. And now he's
TSR
out of there. A rare skull indeed.
Konde heading directly into the grave. Lost Woods coming out from TSR.
Yeah, he's going
Okay,
into Goron City.
Okay, yeah, get the rolling Goron, see what's in Death Mountain Crater. Death Mountain Crater can have Way of the Hero fairly frequently as well, so not a bad play per se. Konde has Dinspire ready to go, so he'll be able to get the...
Oh, he killed the skull!
That is a play. You know what? You know what? Very good. Excellent.
Kondi overlapping the Dinspire cutscene with the door opening cutscene to save a little bit of time there. TSR's got his 10th skull now. Alright, now let's... Oh, yeah, he went the wrong way for the rolling Goron. Let's see if he gets some good luck with it. And by good luck, I mean, let's see if he stops the rolling Goron.
Not choosing to go ahead and meet it halfway there is going to lose him a little bit of time, but might just be more familiar with the timing from this particular setup, which I can definitely respect. Like, if you know the timing of a specific area, you know, do what you know, lose that little bit of time to not lose potentially more by screwing up. So,
Yeah,
all right,
exactly. All right, let's see
Child
if Rolling
Goron.
Goron gives anything good. Nope.
Unfortunate.
Just a bloopy. And so far, with both our runners having like pretty decent starts, they haven't really gotten any like major items to clear dungeons with, aside from, you know, bombs for Dodongos. But that's about it. Still looking for Kokiri Sword to get access to the Deku Tree, Long Shot, Iron Boots, Hover Boots, Boomerang.
All right, Man on the Roof coming out from Condi now. Just a piece of heart here. TSR going to pick up Bolero from the vanilla check. Unfortunately, mashing for some reason. Has to play the song a second time. But that's going to at least give him quick access to come back here in the future. The Forest Double Keyring now going to come out from Condi. So, okay, I did forget. It was TSR that picked up the Keyring
Yes.
and not Condi. So that's why Condi didn't keep going, because he basically could only do one check as well beyond that, which I can respect dipping in for the skull, knowing that for sure.
Yeah, Condi's
Condi
just
now-
kind of been getting on his way. Neither runner has even been to Death Mountain Trail, so we don't know what's on the trail yet either, but...
And
Condi's
notably,
taking
you
that.
know, half an hour in with both runners having bombs, Dodongos is looking like it's just now finally going to be entered by Condi. Who probably will take...
Oh,
a
it's
leap
Hover
or two-
Boots.
Oh, Hover Boots. Hey,
He's going to
yeah.
get that. And we got another hint coming from TSR. Shoot the Sun is dead.
Ooh, Ruby
Yeah, so
coming out from
Hover
TSR.
Boots, pretty decent. Even if it's like, even if they don't need Shadow, it's still a nice little handy item to have.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I didn't see what was on top of Crater, but I assume it was, I mean, even if it was something, TSR couldn't really go for it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. The Hover Boots picked up by Condi here, gonna get the hint TSR.
Ooh.
Forest Temple, Way of the Hero. Okay, so that will be definitely good to know on TSR's front, but he's going to need, at the very least, a strength upgrade to be able to go further in that dungeon at this point. So he'll keep that into the back of his mind while he writes that down, but for now, he's probably going to grab the one more free... No, doesn't look like he's actually going to do it, so fair enough.
He might have looked at what it was when he went down to Bolero, and I missed that hint that Condi got.
It was also Forest Temple, Way of the Hero.
Oh, okay, so Condi knows now that he's got to go back to Forest Temple eventually. And yeah, both runners are staying pretty vigilant on checking out their own trackers, so just in case I miss anything, I can always look over and see what they know. Alright, first item from Dodongos coming from Condi here. It's just some bombs.
Fairy Fountain on the top is just going to be a Deku Stick. So TSR going to take the Laro Warp here. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
he's-
Maybe he's going back to Goron City to go to Death Mountain Trail, and then he'll start his Dodongos as well.
It would have definitely been faster just to leave, though, and take the top trail to the bottom. Regardless of that, he could be going towards the the Rock Maze. Those two checks. I did not see if he did that earlier when he dipped into the Dongos.
No.
Hylian Shield.
No, neither runner has done Rock Maze yet. But I think I would hope to see him like go to Trail first, because doing Rock Maze with the Hover Boots would give him access to that hammer check that's hidden behind the rock as well, if he knows that jump. That is.
Something tells me he doesn't, but that is definitely something I'm gonna have to remember for the future.
I mean, he could know it, and he's just like, because he doesn't know where Hover Boots are. He doesn't know that they're on the trail, so he figures, while I'm here, may as well get this. There's a free hint as well.
For
And
sure.
then they can, you know, kind of, He's probably going to Death Mountain Trail right after this. I can't imagine going anywhere else. Unfortunately, won't be able to Sun Song out of this room, though, because he'll be back down in Darunia's room. Another Zora's Fountain Foolish.
Fountain Baron again.
Spirit Temple Keyring.
Spirit Temple. That definitely is worth noting, and knowing, especially knowing the fact that we have Requiem already in Kondi's inventory. I believe also, actually, it doesn't look like TSR has that yet. Am I missing that?
TSR never got Requiem, no.
Okay.
Requiem was in Adult CAC, and he hasn't been there yet.
Right. Yeah, so it looks like TSR are now going to get the Death Mountain Trail checks, which is good timing. Good timing to do this for sure. You'll be able to get the hover boots on top of Death Mountain Trail once again. Getting that nut out.
Alright, Kondi with his swag throws, blows up the eyes. TSR has located his hover boots. So I really doubt he's going to go back into Goron City now. Nailed by the boulder.
Sniped.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the Zora tunic was on these trackers. Not going to lie. But I did see that he got the Zora tunic, so that could point in the direction of Water Temple as one of their dungeons. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I forgot either tunic was on the tracker at all. Even though it's an item.
Ultimately, I just don't think about tunics. It's like, unless I am somehow going into those dungeons with like less than 6 hearts, I usually just wing it.
Yeah.
Knowing full well I'm pretty good enough to do those without it.
Yeah, technically in logic. I mean, I think that the Goron tunic is a little more important than the Zora tunic, because you can survive most underwater sections unless you have to do under, central pillar kind of thing. But, I mean, even then, like, neither runner has very much health in this seed. Like, right now, Kondi's only sitting at 5 hearts, and TSR is at 4, so it's one of those low health seeds, GT stands for Ganon's Temple, I don't know. Ganon's Tower, yeah. No, a cookie. GTG stands for Gerudo Training Grounds.
Alright, Kondi taking out King Dodongo, and that is going to be the first, legitimate dungeon completed. TSR will be relatively behind him, going to get his shield, immediately goes to equip that.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a shield yet.
Nope,
it's actually really funny.
Did not commit the time to go buy one. Ooh, what's
All
that?
right.
That is the double magic from Dodongos. All right, so even at this point, TSR, when he finishes this up, he'll have his first magic, which means he won't be too far behind in that front, even if he doesn't immediately head to the graveyard. Albeit, considering where you are put at the end of this cutscene, my guess is TSR is going to head on over to the CAC checks immediately after, so...
Yeah, no Dampe punish, that's right. That means even if TSR never goes to Dampe, it won't matter because he's going to find magic at the end of Dodongo's. That's true. Which is actually a really good thing for him, because I feel like Dampe is one of those checks that if you don't do it early, you just kind of find it later when you're going down your checklist.
Absolutely. One of those things that is technically in Sphere 0, but because of the... Especially if you don't have Sun Song, because of the specific requirement for it, and where it is as a location, it's one of those things that's very easy to forget. So Kondi now is going to head into the Goron City, going to get the timing here for our good friend, the Rolling Goron.
Oh, but he misses it.
He missed.
So we're going to go for a second lap here.
Alright, Kondi going to take the time to meet the Rolling Goron at least a little bit halfway. So, I'm going to probably save a bit of time on this front. That's a bit early, I was going to say, yep.
Oh, the Goron rolls
no.
away! Kondi having a little bit of trouble.
Oh, no.
Alright, here we go. Again, take 3. Hopefully he runs
believe.
forward a little bit. Ah, he gets it. 3rd try is the charm.
Yeah, definitely at some point, just as a little tip, if you think your timing might be a little bit off, take the time. Okay, Zora's doing picked up by TSR. Take the time and just run into the Goron. If nothing else, if you time it right, it means the explosion will be right on top of the Goron. If nothing else, being right on top of the Goron, getting hit by the Goron will drop the bomb right on top of where the Goron is and give you the best chance to grab it. So, little bit of a tip if you're having trouble in the future.
Condi grabbing the skull through the little platform there. And choosing not to get the Medigoron hint. It does a lot of bombs, so makes
Picking
sense.
up the Goron's tunic here, definitely can agree with the amount of hearts that Condi has, which is just 5. You know, if you're going to dip into Fire Temple for any reason at this point, picking up that Goron tunic will just give you a safety net. Even at like 6 hearts, it's like doable, but it's fairly tight. But 5 hearts, yeah, absolutely. You know, pick up that Goron's tunic. Don't even risk it for any biscuit at that point. Just head on.
And I mean, Condi has the key ring, so it's like, you know, now he can just like dip in and he doesn't really have to worry about it at all. Like.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're like chaining yawns on each other.
Oh no.
Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Alright, Condi checking what's in the side. Yeah, it was a blue rupee, so maybe TSR checked that. Yeah, he does also have Furores to set in Fire Temple as well, and I think setting it in Fire Temple with Bolero isn't so strong, because you can just go right back there, but I mean, it is like a shortcut that you can take.
Condi gonna pick up the second Forest Temple way of the hero hint here. Nothing new to grab in that front. TSR gonna head on down to take on King Dodongo. Fun fact: the reason you cannot one-cycle King Dodongo is because his health is exactly 12. So you deal 2 damage to him with the bomb, 8 damage with the big Goron sword jump slash, which means he has 2 health left. You technically take him down to 0 HP with the second bomb. So any slash will kill him at that point, but just having 12 health means he cannot be one-cycled. Very unfortunate. You're forced to 2-cycle him, regardless as an adult.
Yeah, and as people are memeing about in chat, shoutouts to Slongster, who died to King Dodongo in one of his seeds.
I would meme on it if I wasn't also like super close to doing that myself at one point in practice.
Yeah. To be fair, he didn't die to King Dodongo. He died in King Dodongo's room. I believe, as the story goes, he went into the fight with a quarter heart and walked into the lava.
Yeah, I went into the fight with a full heart, walked into the lava, realized, oh shit, and then played extremely carefully with King Dodongo for the remainder.
No. Alright, so Condi gets a second Market Way of the Hero hint. Still not really putting any pressure on the Ganon's Tower keys. Din's Fire could be the only way of the hero so far. But we won't know until we check Wasteland. If there's nothing in Shadow Temple, who knows? Condi has hover boots going into this, so we'll be able to check the Goron Maze's 3rd chest. And he's got bomb shoes, so he's going to be doing it way faster.
Kakariko. Did my internet just die?
Nope. Yeah. Was it me? Did I die?
Potentially. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Just everything on my end froze for a second. I'm like,
yeah, everything on my end froze too, and chat froze too, so I think it's on my end. I think it's on my end for sure.
Alright. Little hiccup. We good.
Yeah, we good. Okay, Condi gets the Spirit Temple keys. And he's struggling to do,
Oh, and he rolls into...
Oh no, he rolled into the box!
Oh, no.
Oh no! All right, well, he'll be coming back later. I'm not surprised that he didn't decide to go back, but he's going straight into Forest Temple. He's got Song of Time now, so he'll be able to get around the. He'll be able to get into the courtyard at least.
Yeah, those will be an additional 3 checks that Condi can do at that point. TSR opting not to pick up that purple rupee, which, fair enough, you're at max rupees, save at least a little bit of your time. We'll be getting Requiem here, so maybe we'll finally be able to see which song is over in the Desert Colossus. Seeing the nuts on top, heading on over, gonna pick up Requiem here. Condi will be able to pick up only about 3 more checks that TSR did. So it's no guarantee that he will get the Way of the Hero that is here, but it does give him a higher chance of doing so. So on that front, we're just going through repeat checks at this point.
Yeah,
TSR
but
heading over to
Condi's
the
going to
graveyard.
be in new ground in a sec. Pushing the room back to normal, so that way he doesn't have to do anything crazy in order to get to the boss. And then, yeah, he's got the skull check, which, like you said, it's a repeated check. We've already seen TSR do this one, but right after that, then he's going to be going somewhere new. Unfortunately for TSR, he finds his wallet. Probably not going to go back for that purple rupee.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, Electric, there's a chance he will find the boss key early in the courtyard, but I mean, you never know. Without strength or the bow, still, it's a toss-up.
TSR racing on to Dampe. I'm going to predict 53 on this front. I believe in TSR getting a 53. Maybe not with that, but at least it sends him a little bit forward on that front.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a 58 on this one, looking at how he's dipping and weaving here. 58 sounds a little insulting, but I don't know. It's just taking my gut instinct.
Ooh, gets past that one. Okay, gotta be careful on that flame. Doesn't know that you can just take the path to the right to potentially avoid any flames around the corner. Doesn't take the jump splash either. 45 coming around this corner. That is going to be close, but he should be able to still make it in here. My bet is gone.
I think it's going to be
There
a
goes
57.
Electric. It's a 58.
He threaded the needle between all of us.
All right, so he'll be picking up his big Goron sword here. Condi gonna head on over with his hover boots over to this additional check that I forgot that you can get with the hover boots accessible. And then very smart here, he's putting down Pharaoh's Wind. So at the very least, if he falls down when going for the Skulltula, which he's 100% going to go for, can just get right back up. No big deal. Good elimination of the Floor Master there.
Yep.
And we're now in new territory on Condi's end for checks we have not yet seen. First and foremost, we have the Kokiri sword. All right, so
Kokiri
that is
sword
a way
is
the hero item.
yeah, it's a pretty decent way of the hero item, I'd say. You need it to get into Deku Tree, which is contains the fire medallion. So with Song of Storms being on Ravaged Village, having to complete the first 3 medallions in order to get the Song of Storms, maybe one of their items could be in bottom of the well. That would be really heartbreaking to see, but it would definitely make the seed interesting.
Not impossible, but certainly not something you'd want to see as either of these runners. Condi here going to head on over to another check that we have not yet seen, as TSR is going to head into the grave to get Song of Time, as well as going to get the Baron check here, but no big deal.
He actually doesn't have Din's Fire yet.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he never checked Richard when he went to the market. So yeah, we're not gonna see some lit torches from TSR here. He'll have to go as a child to get that, or he'll have to eventually make his way back to Child Market to find that Din's Fire. which is one of those checks that, like I said, if you walk back, it's like, It's, I wonder if he's ever going to go back there.
Yeah. Sometimes that's how it goes. Oh yeah, so with the hook shot, it is a thing with the hook shot, but you can be outside the hurt box of an enemy on one frame and then behind the hurt box of an enemy on the other frame with the hook shot. And the Skulltulas are small enough that that's a possibility. I've seen it happen plenty of times. With, like, somebody shoots like a gold skull, and then, wait a minute. Why did it just hit the wall behind the gold skull aiming right at it? It's very silly, but it is a thing. So Kondi has left the Forest Temple at this point, headed on over to Desert Colossus. Going to see the Fairy Fountain first and foremost. Pulls out the hook shot, thinking he has bombs. So puts bombs on the thing that he's used to. There he goes.
Yeah.
In he goes. TSR going to head on into the circle room here. He won't get the Kokiri sword He won't get the Kokiri sword doing this loop, but if he knows how to get to the upper room with the hover boots, he will at least be able to get the Kokiri sword on this visit. But we'll have to see if he knows about that or not. Even still, Kondi getting nothing out of the Fairy Fountain immediately plays Requiem, which will just get him closer to the front of Spirit Temple. Smart play on that
we finally
front.
get to figure out what song is over here, as well as what's on top of the Colossus. Not a lot you can do in Spirit Temple as adult without the gloves, so he's probably just gonna dip right out.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
basically-
imagine doing reverse. Well, he might.
Nocturne at the very least will give access to Shadow Temple, and he can enter it at this point and get a few checks.
Yeah, he can do a lot, actually.
Oh yeah, the shortcut is open too as well. I forgot about that. So yeah, he can do a lot in Shadow Temple at this point. Getting a hint for the Colossus's right hand, seeing that looks like nothing on top.
Yeah, it was a blue
so-
rupee up there. Can he actually, like, complete all of Shadow Temple?
Does he have the key ring?
Oh, no, he doesn't have the key ring. That's right. No Shadow
Yes,
Temple key ring yet. That's right.
All right, Ocarina of Time teaches the Prelude of Light. That is at least good to know on the front of, I don't have to do all dungeons this seed, but it is one of those things where it's like, oh man, but like, I want my free teleport song.
Yeah.
Even still, Kondi will take that to head on into Shadow Temple. He can do basically everything that doesn't require keys, which is a good actual amount of checks. So here we go, heading on in. Oh no, TSR. Oh,
he'll
no.
he'll hook shot up.
Yeah, that's not how you get there, my man. Teku Baba says
Rejected.
no.
Yeah, especially with Fast Shadow. So if he finds an early boss key, he could just straight up beat the dungeon and then kind of head on out.
Well, he does still need at least one small key. He
That's
doesn't need the key
true.
ring.
Yeah.
But even still, yeah, just with that, there's the 2 checks before the hover boots. You can get 2 additional checks before the first key door, and then the 3 checks, beyond the boat as well.
Yeah, Electric. I was quickly reminded of that. I forgot that there was one door blocking entry into the room before the boss room.
All right.
Yeah, I imagine Kondi probably won't want to give up his Ferora's Wind that he has in Forest Temple. But I mean, it is like right at the beginning of Forest Temple. Like all you'd have to do is like go back into the block room. Kondi's standing in exactly the wrong spot twice in a row, having to hop off the spawning chests.
What you want to see?
Yeah. Alright. It looks like TSR is done in Forest Temple for now, having grabbed nothing of value, really.
Did he not? He didn't grab the Kokiri sword, did he?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
So
no.
he probably wasn't aware of the jump that you could do with hover boots. So he's going to be going back into Goron City, and I'm not really sure where he's going to be headed to next. Respawning his timer. I would like to see him go, like, you know, go maybe check out Fire Temple, but I guess he doesn't have the Goron tunic yet. Kondi having a little bit of problem getting his angle on the Gibdo for the jump slash.
Boy, do I know that feeling.
Yeah. Alright, TSR did not check this check through the wall, so he's going to go down, see it's a blue rupee, and then nope, right out of there. Alright, that's a nut upgrade for Kondi. That's a lot of nuts.
It's a lot of nuts.
It's a lot of nuts. And now he's going to be doing this check for sure. And then I imagine he'll take the shortcut. But taking the shortcut and not dropping for Roar's Wind on the other side is like pretty feels bad, because having to take the boat a second time just really feels bad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna really depend on what Kondi feels like doing in that front. So far, nothing in Shadow Temple. Actually, is choosing not to do, not to continue forward, which I can at least respect, because it is a lot of time commitment for free checks that may or may not give you anything. And again, of course, he has Pharaoh set somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
So, not wanting to.
And the third thing on top of there is, like, even if he does find something good, like, there's no guarantee that he'll be able to do anything else. Oh, TSR is getting the Goron tunic after all. Poggers.
All right.
Oh, but he's not going to Fire Temple. Unless he just ran the wrong direction. I want to see him go to Fire Temple.
Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, so it looks like Kondi's going to head back to Child at this point.
Yeah,
Definitely can see that.
Kondi's probably immediately going back towards Deku Tree now that he has the Kokiri sword.
That is a notable amount of, a definitely notable amount of checks, as well as easy to access skulls at this point. Plus, you don't have to, like, worry about Brett, like, potentially screwing up the web. You don't have to worry about, you just do B1 skip with ground jump if you're not good at B1 skip with bombs. No big deal whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean he'll still have to climb all the way to the top, because there are the two checks in the top room, unless you were talking about the web in the basement. In that case, Kondi knows flame storage, so it's one of those things that, I mean, either way, I don't really think we'll see a Din's Fire that much. Oh, Kondi checking his keys, I guess. I think. Or his skulls. I really don't know.
One of the two. Either way, TSR heading on over to 10 skull check. Gonna see it's just a little heart piece.
Yep.
Have 20 skulls, and now is going to grab the Requiem. Sorry, no, he's gonna actually head on over to what seems to be Fire Temple.
Yeah.
With Bolero.
Kondi, on the other hand, going to check what's at the Din's Fire Fairy Fountain. May as well, since he's right here, and then he can just minuet out. Guess that's a good thing about having all these warp songs, is just you can kind of go wherever you want, and then, you know, if you have a plan to go somewhere else, just warp there. Except Lake Hylia, of course, because what kind of forgiving god would I be creating seeds, giving people access to both for Prelude and Serenade of Water. Kondi does, however, get a claim check here, so not an item that, you know, he can do anything with himself, like, but he can possibly claim it in for a better item down the road when he goes back adult. I guess we'll just have to find out then, because that's an adult thing. And Kondi's probably going to be child for a little bit, at least until Deku Tree, and then who knows, maybe he might check Lake Hylia after that, maybe he'll go to Gerudo Valley. It's a lot of stuff that's out of the way, that corner of the map, especially with no warp songs to get there.
Absolutely. TSR into the Fire Temple at this point. Has plenty of bombs, so he'll be able to get the majority of checks here. Knowing as well that he doesn't have to go, he doesn't have to go the whole way up Fire Temple. It's going to help him at least a little bit. Does not have Pierre set, so he will not be able to get the Pierre check as well. But Going to be seeing the first check here. Just another heart piece. And we'll get an extra bit of heart for that. Oh no. Presses A for freeze the Goron.
Be free, my Goron. Be free.
Rest in peace, 10 seconds of your time.
Yep.
Good grief, Mito says as he lets Konditioner through. Good grief. Just capital letters, good grief. What an asshole.
So he'll be checking the other side. Meanwhile, Kondi's going to get 2 more hints. Maybe we'll see a 4th Way of the Hero or a 3rd Baron hint. Hint number 1 gives us just something we already know. Song of Time and Composer Grave. 1 more check. Oh, that's right. We don't have hints for 40 or 30 skulls as well. Those are our last 2 always hints that we need. A 40 skull seed this early in the tournament would be something, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. Boss key on deck for TSR. Freeze another Goron. Oh, no.
Alright, we're freeing all the Gorons today. Alright, so TSR has Boss Key and Fire Temple now. Unfortunately, no Megaton Hammer to make use of it. But, I mean, he could just keep going in Fire Temple. Yeah. Because, oh, TSR doesn't have the Fire Temple keyring.
Oh.
I didn't notice that. Where did... No, he must to get into that first room. Did I just forget to mark it? Because you do need a key to get into the big room, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You do.
I think I just forgot to mark it.
Choosing not to go further into Fire Temple, which I can at least respect that, because Fire Temple beyond that point, you are committing a lot of time for all of those checks, and
Yeah, I mean,
really
he
knows
also
if you want to.
doesn't have the bracelet, so he wouldn't be able to get that far in Fire Temple either, unless he does, you know, bomb jump. And I know that TSR is a much less experienced runner than Kondi at Randomizer, so I don't actually know all the tricks that TSR does and doesn't know how to do.
Yeah, it'll be an experience thing for sure. I believe he only ran like his first Randomizer seed a very short while before the tournament began. So
Yeah, his first submission was something of a legend around these parts, they say.
legendary.
And that's actually what prompted me to make those practice seeds was TSR's first submission. But enough of that. Player seeding? Ooh, Iron Boots.
Iron Boots. Okay.
Player
That
seeding
will-
would be a good thing to add, I think.
Actually, yeah. You definitely make room inside, like...
I just put it after their names.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Definitely make room just, like, seed 14th, like, right there.
Yeah.
Right, so Iron Boots on
Go ahead and
deck.
add that in now.
Iron Boots on deck means that Water Temple will be accessible at this point with Hook Shot. We'll not be able to get a couple of checks related to the long shot, but no big deal. Konditioner here going to be heading on down to the basement. At this point, should be able to seal on the 20 skulls, which is the minimum amount of skulls that you would need to get, assuming you don't want to skip them. Just because, of course, you do not have 20 skulls is a sometimes hint. It is not guaranteed. So we're going to be seeing Kondi here pick up the final chest before Goma. It's going to be a stick upgrade, so he's got more of those to work with, which is good.
Yep.
Not the biggest deal in the world, knowing that Kokiri Sword is in his inventory, but even still. That's his 20th skull, picking up his 21st here. Going to go for Flame Storage.
Uh-oh, TSR attracted the wrong dog.
Oh, don't I know that feeling.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to lose the brown dog to get Richard, and that'll be his Din's Fire, I believe.
Would be correct.
Uh-oh. Oh no, he ran past another brown dog. Alright, back to Hyrule Castle we go. Ooh, Connie misses the second nut. Can I get a nut? I'm just expecting it now.
Oh, sorry. Let me get that for you.
Alright, TSR
I
getting his
honest-
GTG foolish hint.
I honestly was like, can you get it nuts? Like, yeah, it was right there. What are you talking about? Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Wait a second.
I
I'm
had
being
totally
summoned.
forgotten. I totally forgotten I had done this gag a couple times already.
Alright, Kondi with a very nice first cycle Goma. Or one cycle Goma, sorry. Yeah,
TSR going to head on in to get his claim check at this point.
I play Rando on N64 just because it's easier to set up. And I like the N64 better. Competitive-wise, I can see a reason to always do VC just because you save so much free time, but I don't know, I like N64. Alright, Kondi has completed his second dungeon, getting a fire medallion. One step closer to his Song of Storms check. Or Song of Storms, I mean.
Alright, TSR picked up the claim check, gonna head on out now. Inspire in the inventory. Let's see where he chooses to go. He's gonna turn it to nighttime.
And yeah, Go-Go, I can say that Everdrive Brute that TSR goes through, that is definitely a that's definitely a him thing. I know that mine boots way faster than that.
Yeah, I can also confirm. My EverDrive boots much faster than that. It is still slower than VC booting, but, just thinking out loud here. TSR once again attracting the brown dog.
See, TSR keeps going around the left side and keeps attracting the dog in the exact same spot every time. Like, please go around the other side of the fountain, or at least take a wider berth. See, he's going a little bit wider now, but he still ran into the same brown dog in the same spot, but he didn't have a chance to latch on. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, he's got Richard this time. He's got Richard. Alright, did anyone see Kondi's hint? I was too caught up in the moment.
I did not.
Oh, it was another Sacred Forest Meadow, so we got 3 doubles now. Thank you, Cole. Alright, Kondi on his way to Lake Hylia. We had to see these eventually. Here we have another Sphere 0 check. Right at the beginning. Alright, we got a
Skulls is a scale.
Scale. Could be good, could be bad, but he has iron boots, so probably doesn't matter. At least with the scale, he'll be able to get whatever's on the letter check.
Yeah, so that's basically the determining factor of if you'd want to go for like 40 skulls at that point, because you wouldn't know where the other scale is. No, the only check in the game that requires silver scale is the Ruto's letter check. The Zora game gives you the scale in vanilla, which you then use to go to Lake Hylia and then get Ruto's letter, which requires the silver scale.
Yeah.
So if that is barren, then you can pretty much at that point just ignore getting the scale if that one check is barren, and it is freestanding, so you are able to see it with no issue.
Yeah, except if you're Shake in the tournament last year. That was quite the scene to watch. Alright, we got another hint coming here. Another GTG Foolish. Still waiting on our third Foolish hint.
Next.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my internet, but
Next slide. Next frame.
yeah, I can see that I'm in the red here.
TSR into Child Side Spirit. Not sure how much of a fan I am of this. Let's not flash back to last year's tournament. Where my first match, I ignored Child Side Spirit unnecessarily for like 3 hours, and then finally decided fuck it and won the seed off of that. Let's not flash back to that. But I digress. We'll at least be able to pick up a couple of checks that are here. Using Din's fire to take this guy out. You know what? He gets both the switch in the same time. That definitely saves time over hitting the switch otherwise. Actually, no, wait, what am I saying? You killed the guy to open the thing. I am a brain. I use... Ooh, okay, so there's silver scale. So with that knowledge in check, TSR could pretty much make sure to ignore the 40 skull check hint when he does get that. I did not actually see if Condi checked the silver scale check, but I'm assuming that it was nothing.
Yeah. He looked down and it was really hard to tell what he was looking at because it was night, but I think it was bomb chews or bombs. It was something dark, so... Or maybe it was a blue rupee and I was just looking too far back, but... But yeah, like you were saying, definitely finding an item that you already know is on skulls is it just feels so good being like, well, I guess I'm not collecting those skulls. But
Yeah,
TSR doesn't know what's on 40 skulls yet. Only Condi has that hint, so...
Yeah, it will definitely be a thing where if TSR is thinking about, okay, maybe I might need 40 skulls this seed, haven't found a hint for that, when he does find it, he'll at least be able to, like, breathe a sigh of relief, like, okay, I won't need that this seed, so we're good on that front. So we're going to be heading up the, still on the child side of Spirit here, without access to either strength upgrade required for this. I definitely can agree with it. You're here, you can do these checks. You got Din's fire in your pocket, so you can get the fire-related ones. Double defense on 20 skulls for Condi.
Yeah, double defense is always good to find. It's not required by any means, but definitely helps to not die.
Yeah. Any bit of extra breathing room you can afford, you will take, especially when you're like me and you don't play with low health sounds and forget sometimes that you're at 1 heart in the Bongo Bongo boss room and didn't set Pharaoh's Wind.
Condi finally deciding to make the trip up to Zora's River. He has all the items to go up and down. Hopefully he'll find something there.
If nothing else, you can grab yourselves a couple of hints on here. Maybe find that third Baron. Maybe find that... Oh, it didn't blow up the rocks, did it?
It never does. Oh, yeah, it did actually.
Okay, it did. Okay.
I have really bad luck with that.
I swear it's something related to, like, the visuals of the rocks are there, but the actual, like, collision boxes aren't loaded in for some reason. It's just really annoying.
Alright, TSR found his Goron tunic that he already had. I'm pretty sure he bought one. Ooh, I thought
Yeah,
Condi
he
was
did.
going to land in the river there. Yeah, so putting on an extra Goron tunic just to stay nice and warm in the volcano.
And TSR got hit by his own bomb, which forced him a little bit further than he wanted to be. Unfortunate.
Oh, is TSR collecting the rupees? Oh yeah, he is.
He is. I guess he's not going to use the... I don't know if he knows the Din's fire trick in this room.
Yeah, or the flame storage. Alright, we have another way of the hero. We got Deku Tree.
Alright, we found iron boots there in Deku Trees, so that is definitely worth noting. That probably means... If I'm Condi, that definitely means that, like, when I go adult... with hookshot, with iron boots, like, even if I don't get long shot, that's probably worth going. Hyrule Field is foolish, is our final foolish hint.
Well, it's a good thing that Condi found that hint, because I was just about to say that, man, I can never figure out how to do this. There we go. I was about to say, now that he knows that, you know, iron boots are way of the hero, I guess first step on the list is, you know, could go to ATZ Grotto and figure out, like, you know, hey, what's going on? But now with that Hyrule Field Baron, there's no reason. No reason to go in that direction at all, so... I guess Water Temple is the thought now.
Absolutely. still collecting more skulls. Have not found a 30 skull hint, so albeit this is a safe play from Condi, just in case he doesn't end up finding one. Heading on into Zora's domain here. Only Zora's fountain is barren, so these 2 checks available in, still worth going for. Pizza is up for me, so I'm going to grab that real quick. I'm hungry.
Oh, baby. Me too, but I gotta wait. Because I didn't think about making food ahead of time. Oh, boy. Alright, Condi into Zora's domain. Probably going to be clearing out the diving game, the torches. Meanwhile, TSR making his way through to the end of Child Spirit. He's almost at the end of what he can check off. All he has to do is not die to this Iron Knuckle, which kills him in 2 hits. Or 1 if he does a vertical slash. And it looks like he is opting to not use a broken stick, so he's got limited ammunition. We might be seeing him blow him up with bombs. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. I'm not sure what he took damage on. Oh, probably the collapsing. Oh, looks like we're using bombs now. Yeah, he didn't want to use his last stick. Alright, Iron Knuckle goes down and we get to see what's on the Silver Gauntlet check. Meanwhile, Condi's got 20 seconds to finish his diving game. Oh my god, TSR almost fell off the hand. That would have been heartbreaking. And only some seeds, nothing really important. Traversing all of Child Spirit. I don't think he found any good items. Well, I guess he found the tunic, but not really required since he already bought one with his wallet.
I have returned with my pizza.
Welcome back with your pizza. Nothing was on Child Spirit except that Goron tunic, which he already had. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, not really anything useful. Alright, TSR checking out the Neighbors Love Fairy Fountain. Condi getting nothing from both checks in Zora's domain. And now he is out of here. Going back to Lost Woods. So, not really sure on Condi's options here. I don't think he's been to Child Goron. Oh yeah, he has, because he took that long time to get No, that was Adult Goron City. Yeah, Condi. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I didn't realize that TSR never got Nocturne.
Nope.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, so Condi's probably heading to Goron City at this point then. Get those child specific checks, the spinning pot, getting the the big rolling Goron.
Yep.
Afterwards, there's a few things he can do. He can head further. He can head into Fire Temple, which TSR has already done.
Oh, I thought you guys were just memeing. I didn't even see either of them get a hint. Yeah, I totally missed that last hint. So, Cack Way the hero. What did they get from Cack? They got Requiem.
Yeah, Forest Keys
Yep.
is probably the way
Forest
of the hero,
Keys.
actually.
And, yeah, I think that was about it.
TSR at this point looking like he's going to be heading back to Adult. Maybe he'll do a little extra on the way, but my thinking here, definitely going to head to Adult and go from there. Finally going to be activating the spinning pot and grabbing that in a second as well here.
Yeah. I know Condi's been looking at tutorials for spinning pot with bomb shoes, so maybe we'll see that during the tournament. But why would he do it when he could just do it with bombs? He's been
For sure.
practicing this one a lot over the last 2 days, I know. Tired of missing the timing. Oh, no, TSR is going to Zora's River.
Yeah, it took a weird path to get there, but might have just been like running while thinking type of deal.
Yep. Blue Rupee coming out of Zora or Goron Pot, so he is out of there. Did the save warp beforehand just so he can scum his bomb. Save time, not have to watch the rest of the cutscene.
Yep, head on back to the graveyard.
So
This
yeah,
is probably your best bet.
the only hint we have left is 30 skulls, so 30 is still on the table. Will Condi get planktoned? What is being planktoned?
This is news to me too. I have not heard this terminology.
Oh, that was a purple rupee in the middle of Zora's River. I never saw that one. So I guess Condi is... He's turning a day, so he's probably going back adult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, VC crash. Oh, yeah. That's, I should get an FFZ, or I should get that FFZ in here. I'm sure someone's made an FFZ of the plankton clapping emote.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah. I mean, if Condi does get VC crashed, I just stop TSR, and we wait like 15 minutes for Condi to get caught back up. Entering the tournament, there is an agreement. Alright, TSR has his Deku Hero Way of the... Deku Tree Way of the Hero hint. His Deku Tra.
Deku Hero Way of the Tree.
Deku Hero Way of the Tree.
That was very funny. Yeah, so if I'm Condi here, I'm probably heading to Water Temple. Let's see where the teleport takes him. Oh, he's actually going to... Is he reverse wastelanding here?
He could be. Because he's got that Din's Fire possibly on, you know, Market Way of the Hero. He's already checked the Fairy Fountain. So, I don't know why... Unless he's coming to get the skull. Oh, no, he's just going for the, he's just going for Wasteland. So he's probably going to get Wasteland chest. And then, who knows... He might go check what's on Gerudo Fortress. They do have Epona's Song. He does have hover boots. So, Gerudo Fortress isn't bad. And then after that, he can walk out and see what's on... he can see what's in Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Reverse Wasteland, of course, a memorization thing. You have to just sort of know where you're going and know when to turn to avoid the
Yep. Condi's no stranger to Reverse Wasteland, so he should be fine with it. I'm pretty sure TSR doesn't know how to do Reverse Wasteland, so that's off the table for him. I imagine all the top seeds in the tournament will be doing it. I'm not sure if I'm not sure really who does and who doesn't know how to do Reverse Wasteland, but
I've done it once in my life and it was on accident, so I haven't taken the time to actually learn it.
oh my God, he found the
It
bow!
was worth it. It was worth it for the bow. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So Din's Fire, Way of the Hero, and Market for bow and Wasteland.
Well, well, well.
Yeah. So maybe Shadow Temple not looking so mandatory after all.
Hmm.
Well, that's a definite Forest Temple for Condi now. Well, except he still needs strength, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, still
Yeah,
needs
I
strength
think
on that
strength-
front.
strength is more important to make it past the push block room. So
All right, getting across the little pit there, heading on over into Gerudo's fortress. No
Yeah.
need to go into G2G, which will save him some time.
Finding the
Here.
bow there was actually really hilarious timing, because now he can do horseback archery in Gerudo Fortress as well.
Oh,
Yeah, because it was only 1 check before, and now he can do 3. And while he's over there, he may as well get the skull that's on the target as well. But he'll have to turn at night for that, and I really doubt Kondi's going to go all that way for 1 skull, especially since it's like so incredibly slow. Kondi gets ISG. That's banned in this tournament.
he did not at least make any positive use of it, though. So
We're cheating here, boys.
all right, congratulations to TSR. Moving on to the next round.
Alright, TSR gets his CAC Way of the Hero hint.
Kondi's face goes directly into that box.
It's just a console without lag, Flame. It saves a lot of time over N64 in lag. The only bad part about it is it takes like an extra minute to put the WAD on your Wii compared to just dragging and dropping a ROM. But we don't know anything about that, right?
Not a.
I don't even know what those words meant.
What's a ROM? Is that like Rob's brother from like Smash Bros?
Alright, let's see how good Kondi is with CAC archery. We saw a lot of hilarious CAC archeries, or not CAC archery, Gerudo archery from last year. Kondi with that classic emulator aim, or VC aim. Oh! Okay. As long as he doesn't get a 30, or as long as he gets, I guess he can still get a 30 as long as he gets a 60. Oh! Hey, he wins!
At that point, you just need the last land shot and you're good.
Yeah.
Kondi not gonna have any memes here and require a second one.
Yeah.
Ban Marino, that's his first bottle. Give me that Lon Non milk.
Yeah, first bottle this far into the seed. That's something impressive, all right. Anyway, he's gonna be heading on out, doing his Gerudo on top of Gerudo Fortress check. Coming in this way for some reason.
Yeah, you don't really need to do this with hover boots. You can just walk around the outside.
Unless it's faster.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's faster with hover boots.
I don't feel like that's faster. Yeah, with hover boots. If nothing else, it's like even that.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
would
if
not
it
be
is,
a
it's
time
seconds.
save.
We're the banjo community. It looks faster to me. Okay, so TSR sees that it is bombs, and he's going to get them anyway because he only has 8. Just a heart container. Alright, so Kondi's got his bomb chews out. He's going to be checking what's on the Gerudo Valley box. Kondi likes doing the strat from this way where you do the setup and then drop the bomb chew to blow up the box. And it's a fine setup, because that means you don't need to glide all the way down there with a cuckoo.
Indeed.
Yeah. Turning at night first, just so he can grab the 2 night skulls that are on the way here.
Now, still not getting that 30 skull hint means that you might as well keep collecting skulls until such time as you get 30, or you have found the hint, just in case. Because if you don't collect those skulls and then it turns out you do actually need it for like light arrows, well, that's all that extra time you're gonna have to spend somewhere else getting those skulls, and that ain't fun.
Or
It
just
ain't fun.
double dipping every area. It looks like TSR is going to Gerudo Valley, so we're going to see what these items are from Kondi, and then TSR is going to actually be able to get them both. So what do we have here? That looks like a wallet.
It's a wallet or a bomb bag.
Yeah.
Either way, not really in Kondi's like, okay, I absolutely need that.
Yeah, I think it was a bomb
you're
bag,
thinking-
because I think a wallet would be a darker brown. And that's a blue rupee up there, I think, or a key ring. either way, Condi's not interested, so it's probably a rupee.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gonna head
TSR
on
is going to
down.
be getting both those items in a sec. Probably won't get the waterfall, but he'll be bonking open the crate himself, and then maybe he'll go down to Lake Hylia and do his Lake Hylia. Well, actually, he just came from Lake Hylia, so maybe he won't go
could,
back to Lake Hylia.
could be teleporting out of that.
Oh yeah,
juncture.
it is a bomb bag.
He's sitting there and debating it, like,
He's
do
thinking
I
about
do I
it.
pick it up?
I mean,
Yeah,
if
okay,
you
I'll
if
pick
you
it up.
dive to Ruto's letter check for 10 bombs or 5 bombs or whatever it was, you're going to be picking up a bomb bag for another 10 bombs. It's right there, so why not, right?
Yeah, you might as well. Alright, looks like Condi is gonna finally be picking up Scarecrow's song here. That means the top of the Lakeside Laboratory, as well as adult fishing, will be soon to be grabbed here. An hour and a half into this seed, and it's close to being done with just a couple things really required to be done with at this point. However, there's still plenty of things left to be checked. So on that front, we still could be in for, you know, a 2.5 hour seed from Condi's end, or we could be in for a long haul if these last few things are just in some bad locations.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like, it is in logic for TSR to go to Wasteland, because even if he goes from the front, he has Epona's song to get past, like, to get over the bridge. He can get the thing, and then he has hover boots to walk across the you know, river of sand. So, I mean, all he has to do is go there, and he can get his own bow.
Yeah, but that whole thing of, is that Wasteland check, is that worth that one check? And unfortunately, I'll say it, most people probably wouldn't, especially knowing GTG is Baron. It's just, you're going there for not that many checks in the grand scheme of things. Could I go for some faster stuff instead?
It's very
But
true. I think it's even worse with TSR because he has Requiem as well, so if he needed to go into Wasteland at all, it would only be for the check. He doesn't need to just pass through. Compared to Condi, who does reverse Wasteland, so it's on his way to get to the fortress because he's not going forward. So it's just an on the way kind of thing. So it's even like, it's just so much worse of a play for TSR. Oh, Condi's got a keyring up here for Shadow Temple.
Alright, that's big because now Shadow Temple is fully accessible on Condi's end. Gotta head on into... didn't we get a sometimes hint for this, or am I just... No, okay, the last seed I did have sometime hint for this, so that's what I'm thinking of.
No. So Condi's got, yeah, pretty full access to Shadow Temple. Can almost go to Forest Temple. And again, Shadow Temple is another thing he needs for the Song of Storms. So if he finds Hammer soon, could be bottom of the well.
Yeah, we'll also throw out as well the Iron Boots Way of the Hero in the Deku Tree. Condi here, I was going to say, probably is going to dip into Water Temple with that knowledge, because even if he can't clear it, Iron Boots Way of the Hero is one of those things where you're just thinking to yourself, something has to be in Water Temple. Something absolutely has to be here. I'm gonna dip in and see if it's on one of the checks that is not locked by the long shot. So with that being said, Condi's gonna head on in here, and we'll see how that goes. TSR heading over to the Nighttime Skull over on the Fire Arrows platform.
Yeah. And I mean, Condi being in Water Temple is like well, of course he is kind of thing. Just because, I mean, as Lalaway said, the 3 Baron hints are Hyrule Field, so we got no Dive Grotto, Zora's Fountain, so we don't have to check under the icy waters, and GTG, so there's no toilet. And those are like the only other things that need Iron Boots, right?
Yeah, no. With all that being said, like if
Yeah.
you're here, Iron Boots Way of the Hero item, you're going.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
just going in.
I just think that's really convenient that all 3 Baron hints have like the Iron Boot checks in them. It's like it's just one of those things, right?
It is definitely convenient for sure. You can eliminate every other possible option, and just okay, this is what it has to be. Here I go.
Alright, Condi not taking any chances at the rolling towards the chest. He's just going straight for the switch. Gets the
First thing
Megaton
is
hammer.
Megaton.
And like I said, he's got the hammer now. He's got the fire keys. Eh? we know. He doesn't even need the fire. Well, he does need 1 fire key, but I mean, the boss key is on the first floor of Fire Temple, so Condi's probably just going straight in, beating the boss straight out. And again, like I said, it's a Song of Storms.
Yeah, it's there.
The
It
I
could
Cup play
absolutely be there.
approacheth. But then, of course, there's also the Song of Storms grottos on Death Mountain Trail and Kokiri Forest, and there could be something in either of those locations too. But I mean, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I mean, I don't know. Seeing the hammer as the first item is just a pretty big pog, because I think after this is like, well, you're done Water Temple, may as well just straight Bolero and just complete fire.
There's no guarantee that anything else here in water is going to lead to anything, but it is also one of those things where, like, if you dip out and then it turns out that, like, a long shot was actually here, you could have cleared Water Temple, get that extra medallion, because at this point, you can clear Forest once you get a strength upgrade. You can clear Shadow completely at this point. You don't need anything else to do that. You're super close to being basically done with the seed at this point. You got two stones. You've already got DC done. You just need 3. You've already got Deku done. Heck, I just realized he only needs to technically clear fire and shadow or water and shadow. He doesn't need to clear anything else at that point. He's got 4 things ready to go. 4 medallion stones ready to go. So.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things, or Condi, is just playing it safe, playing into the making sure he checked everything that Iron Boots could be, because it may not be pointing towards that hammer. It probably is, but you never know. Could be pointing towards the strength upgrade instead that you find right here. Okay, it's not that, but I digress.
Yeah. I mean, completing a seed without strength at all would be kind of hilarious, but I mean, it's doable.
All right, so Condi just did those three checks and then said to himself, "Okay, actually, Fire Temple, I will take that. Thank you very much."
Not a lot he could do in Water Temple without the key ring, so he'll have to go find that somewhere else. But may as well do something that he knows he can do, and yeah, clear out Fire Temple. He knows he can do everything in Fire Temple, so whether he chooses to get everything or just, you know. Yeah, that's true. CAC shooting is something you can do, and CAC is Way of the Hero as well, so I imagine that's something that Condi will get around to next time he's in CAC. Or if he decides to go back to Shadow Temple, because now that he has the key ring, he can just go back there, and then he's good to go. And
TSR headed.
Yeah, archery's right there outside the graveyard.
TSR headed into Shadow Temple. We'll see if TSR chooses to go that little bit further in Shadow Temple that Condi did not do on his initial deep dive into there. But for the time being, the first Flare Dancer on the deck. I'm gonna take it out very quickly. Power Crouch Dabs, your favorite, wonderful, amazing tool.
Oh yeah, that's true, Pembles. Yeah, Big Poe is now that Condi has the bow is also in. Big Pose is also in Logic. And Market, yeah, Way of the Hero. So, could still be something. I mean, Din's Fire, yeah, but I mean, it's rando. There could be any number of Way of the Hero things in locations. Unfortunately.
That's how she rolls.
God damn it. I need to stop. Too early to be this tired, dang it.
Alright, Condi only getting a blue rupee from the boss key chest, so he's going to be going up to the single Goron probably. Yep. So what kind of pizza did you make?
I had a barbecue chicken one go in there, and then I also had a cheeseburger one, which wasn't that good, but I was experimenting this time around.
Oh yeah.
And
I always
then I-
get disappointed by cheeseburger pizzas. Like they always sound so good, but then you taste them and it's like, I'd rather just have a cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's not terrible, but it's one of those things. It's like I could have just gotten a meat lovers, you know,
Yeah.
gotten more out of this.
Barbecue chicken pizza sounds good though. Yeah, cheeseburger pizza is okay. Most cheeseburger pizzas are just like, you know, ground beef, onion, and cheddar. And then maybe they'll have mozzarella on them too.
Maybe they'll put mayo on there like a weirdo, but you know, that's a weird one I had one time.
Yeah. I know some pizza places when they do cheeseburger pizza, they put like pickles on them too. Because I mean, yeah, it's a pizza, but it's, you know, made to be like a burger, so it's not as weird as it sounds. But and then some places I know do like, you know, mustard. They really burger up the pizza, you know.
Yeah, they go all in on like the cheeseburger aspect of it. If you would put it on a cheeseburger, you'd put it on the pizza.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's aight, sometimes it's not.
Kind of destroys the, you know, sacredness of a pizza, but I mean, it's whatever. It still tastes good. I like it. I'm not picky with my food.
Yeah.
All right, Condi with the boss key. So whether or not he turns around, probably not. Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, this definitely makes sense because again, he's got 4 out of 5. Sorry, 5 out of he will have 4 out of 6. You know, medallion stones to get the Ganon boss key. This will give him the 5th one. It'll also give him, you know, the forest medallion, which will get him the song from the Prelude of Light check as well.
No, that's true, and that's probably Saria's or Serenade, I think. I think those are the only two, yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be one of those two because the other one would be on Ice
Yeah.
Cavern.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so notably here, TSR has chosen to go deeper into Shadow Temple here. Has chosen to go for those 3 additional checks across the boat ride. So we will be seeing what they are from TSR, but he does not have a key. So who knows? He might remember to set Pharaoh's Wind at this point, but maybe not.
Hopefully he does, because otherwise it's going to be a long trip back should he decide to come back.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a long seat otherwise. Condi fighting Volvagia.
Yeah, attempting to
Never-
do the 1 cycle, and it looks like he's pretty good. Not having to drop quite as many bombs because he's got the Bigoron sword.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yes.
You're giving me a heart attack there, Condi. Come on, man.
Stabs her right in the eye. So that's going to be 1 more dungeon done for Condi.
Yeah, so that is Dodongo's,
Dodongo's, Deku, and his free stone.
Alright, alongside. Wait, did he? He didn't finish the chorus, did he? Okay, that's
No.
the thing I've been...
No,
okay.
he never found the boss key.
I've been saying things wrong this entire time because I was silly. Oh my god.
Oh no, he
TSR
forgot to
jumped off
jump!
the boat. Oh
TSR
my
forgot to
God.
jump off the boat!
Oh no.
That
I
feel when
shouldn't
you're
have
just
jumped.
waiting for the boat to reach its end and then you stop to look at your phone or something and then
Oh no.
oh my god.
I just looked over and I suddenly saw the boat falling and my realization, oh no.
Yeah.
TSR, but yeah, you have to play the song again.
Yeah. So Condi going into Shadow Temple, he does have the key ring, so he will be able to find the boss key. I'm pretty sure there's nothing that strength blocks in Shadow, aside from like the falling spikes room. But I can't remember if jumping through the spikes is banned or not.
I believe that's legal. I believe it's
Yeah.
like
I don't think it used to be, but I don't know if they changed that or not. You'd think I'd know.
I don't actually know just because I've always done that regardless of whether I'm doing standard rule set or not, but I just kind of internally assumed it was legal because it was not a hard trick to pull off, but then again, ISG is not hard to pull off and that's banned, so
Yeah. Ooh, Condi missing a jump slash on the Gibdo, and now he's gonna get the Gibdo hug. Oh, no he didn't. Oh, now he was.
he's getting the hug.
He's getting the hug. Luckily, he's got that double defense, doesn't have anything to worry about. Gibdo sees Condi somehow out of the second jump slash. Alright, TSR approaching the end of the boat track. Hopefully he gets off. He's still standing at the end of the boat. TSR? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he's moving. He knows.
He's
he
out.
knows.
He's out. He's out.
Oh, it's time. It's time. Perfect. I did it.
Alright, Condi with a stick. We finally get to see what's at the end of Shadow Temple now.
I don't have a stick button, unfortunately, so I can't do that. Here we are. All right, Condi grabbing just a purple rupee.
Yeah. So nothing. Nothing here. So Condi's just gonna save, and now he's probably gonna go through the rest of the temple forward.
First check, just a purple rupee, sorry, a blue rupee on that front. Got scared by the redead all the way over there.
Yeah, that was a long recall.
Got buffered. Bombs for the second one. So one more left to go on the invisible floor master, a couple rooms over here. And then basically we're on Condi to know if there's anything in Forest Temple. Going to the wrong door. Okay, he realized he was going to the wrong door there, so good realization.
Yeah. Uh-oh, TSR lost in the maze. Doesn't know how to get to the... Oh, there we go. Okay.
You did it.
Hopefully he knows that there's a... Oh, yeah. Oh, tries to hold up his shield with the Biggeron sword out. That's not gonna work.
Hopping Din's fire to kill the mini floor masters. I respect it.
That's what I did as a kid. Oh, no! Oh, no! Okay. I thought he was
We're
gonna
good.
get his life sapped.
We're good.
Oh, Condi almost got guillotined.
I think it would be funny if he got guillotined as he was walking across and then, got voided out because of that.
Lolloway totally calls it. Strength right at the end of Shadow Temple. There we go.
Alright, so finally after all of that, you can do Forest Temple if your name is TSR. And actually, that means that Forest Temple will be accessible to clear by Condi at this point.
Oh, TSR's going to clear Fire Temple. Oh, no, he played the wrong song. Oh, no, he's going to Fire Temple.
He's going.
Now that he has strength, he knows that he can climb higher in Fire Temple.
Yeah, this is one of those things where if you're TSR, you haven't yet found the way of the hero in Forest. So, ideally, you want to go to Forest at that point once you grab that strength upgrade, because now you can full clear Forest. But even still, boss key coming out from Condi, so that's probably what he was looking for, trying to potentially save the time. So yeah, now once he has the boss key, he's out of there. He's gonna go. He's gonna grab his way over there. Maybe he'll go and grab the strength upgrade. He might not, but even still, not gonna bother with the rest of the checks in Shadow Temple. I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah, Lolloway, I think everything you've predicted in the chat has come to pass in this seed. So, yeah. You've definitely played this seed pretty well. All that's left is for a good light arrows from Ganondorf. Hopefully he doesn't say something really stupid. But inside Jabu or whatever. But
yeah, you'll never defeat me by unleashing the light arrows found in Ice Cavern.
Yeah. But I mean, Ice Cavern isn't super terrible, I guess, because sure, Rudo's letter is required for it to be in logic, but I know Konditioner knows how to do the Jabu skip, or the King Zora skip.
Is that the one with the wall flip?
No, it's the one where you just kind of jump over him.
Oh, didn't realize there was one of those. Then again, I suppose I wouldn't really know, considering I only do the one where you just jump slash through the wall.
Yeah, this is a legal one that you stay in bounds for. It's
yeah,
kind of like
you know
the jump to get through the push block room in Ice Cavern without bomb jumping or pushing the platforms. Except you also don't slide on ice. Alright, let's see if Kondi manages to jump off the boat in a reasonable period here. He's getting ready to disembark, so I would say he knows what to do.
All right, no minute time loss on Kondi's end here. He is actually going to go for these additional checks, so he will be able to pick up the strength upgrade, which will let him finish up Forest. I expect to see a minuet immediately upon defeating Bongo Bongo here. Meanwhile, TSR heading on over to another check in Fire Temple, going through basically everything. Does have Pierre, so he will be able to get that. We do know that the Flare Dancer is not required. Can just ignore that, but at the same time, no Megaton Hammer. Another nut. It is time.
Nut.
Nut.
Yeah, and I think Kondi checking these checks at the very end is pretty smart too, because I mean, with only one Furor's Wind placement, he's obviously going to place it in Ganon's castle, so you know, doesn't want to have to get up to Ganondorf and be told, oh yeah, light arrows are actually at the end of Shadow Temple. Having to take the boat all the way back. So just clearing out the end of the dungeon just to make sure that if he does have to come back, just in case he missed anything in Shadow Temple, which he didn't do the falling block room, he could have to come back. But he doesn't have to come quite as far.
And also worth noting, that's 30 skulls for Kondi, so that will be on deck and ready to be checked. TSR not having the bow either at this point, meaning that he does have to do this a little bit of out-of-the-way method to grab the map, or the compass chest here, excuse me. Unfortunately, it is nothing. Kondi heading into the room to pick up the first strength upgrade. I also forgot, Kondi does have Pharaoh's Wind still set in the Forest Temple, so he can just enter back into Shadow once he is done and go right back to where he was, so he'll be able to save at least a decent chunk of time doing that as well.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot that Konditioner still had Forest set, and yeah, with that strength, now he goes back to Forest. He can find his boss key. Easy peasy. Oh, it's set in water. Oh, that's right. He did dispel it. That's right. Just in case he had to go back. But I mean, it's Minuet, and I mean the block room is really close to the beginning of the dungeon anyway.
I missed that while I was looking at TSR, I guess. Either way.
I specifically saw him dispel Furor's Wind, but it was a long time ago. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We had to talk about pizza. You know, the memory's all jumbled.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
Alright, Kondi fighting my favorite boss in the game. Bongo Bongo. Unfortunately for TSR, he hasn't found a whole lot in Fire Temple so far. And he probably won't. Unless he finds an out-of-logic bow. Well, I guess it's not really out of logic, because you don't need bow for anything in Fire Temple.
Yeah, only one thing that does save a little bit of time versus the itemless method, but even still. Heading on over. Bongo Bongo down on Kondi's end. Will finish up, grab the medallion from Shadow Temple. That will, at this point, put him Lens of Truth from TSR, so that's not really going to get him anything. The only thing that's really going to be useful for is the chest minigame into the market.
I mean, the only thing that would really help him at this point is if it was light arrows on chest game in market, but I mean...
Mark away the hero. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, right. I don't think light
light,
arrows is
light
actually.
arrows can't be way the
Yeah.
hero. Yeah.
Yeah, they changed that at some point. I forgot about that.
So Condi looking mighty strong. 5 dungeons completed to TSR's only, well, 2. So I guess 4 dungeons completed to TSR's 1 since they were both given the medallion.
Oh no, TSR having a little bit of trouble.
Uh-oh,
And then
he's
I'm
about
getting
to
hit by
get
the
hit by that
flame wall
flame
here.
wall.
Yeet. Oh,
Luckily, it
didn't
just
fall off.
disappears. You know, I always thought as a kid in that room, like, you get hit by the flame wall, it just instantly kills you.
That's definitely what the cutscene feels like, right? But it's just you take half a heart of damage.
Yeah, Link's like, ah, I don't want to take half a heart. Or I guess
Oh,
Condi's
no.
got double defense, so it would be a quarter heart.
Scary. Well, TSRS has double defense. I guess.
Oh, that's right, both of them have double defense, yeah.
Alright, Condi,
Either way,
like I
scary.
thought, going immediately on over to the Forest Temple. Gonna head on and grab the rest of that TSR. Found nothing, and at this point, yeah, there's nothing else he can really do. The only other check here is a Song of Time. The Song of Time block, I believe. And then that one has a hammer switch on it. I don't remember if it does or not. I just always hit it with the hammer through the block. My memory is shoddy right now on this front.
It's been a very long time since I've seen anyone open that door in Fire Temple. But, yeah, TSR has, definitely gone the distance on that one.
You know what? I don't think TSR remembered the Flare Dancer hint, because he's heading on up to it, it seems like.
Oh, that's very true. Actually, I don't think he ever found it. Yeah, TSR only has 3 sometimes hints on his tracker. Shoot the Sun, Village is the song, and on right hand of Colossus. Which is actually really funny because he got... Uh-oh, he's fighting the Flare Dancer with the Bigoron sword. Oh well.
Not the worst time loss in the world.
Yeah, TSR actually got what was on the Colossus's right hand, so... Yeah, maybe he just kind of forgot about his sometimes hints. Or thought, you know what, I've cleared all of Child Spirit, I may as well go one more check as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
One more to add to the pile.
Finishing up the Flare Dancer here, a little bit early on the ledge grab. No big deal, not going to be the biggest time loss in the world. Condi into the boss key chest. Let's see what we got here. Purple rupee.
Purple rupee.
Still at this point making still at this point trying to look for one last thing. At this point you either need Strength 2 and Mirror Shield to go do Spirit, or you want the long shot to go finish up Water Temple. You do need that extra medallion, so you wouldn't necessarily want to find Boomerang.
Yeah. I think Boomerang would be the worst item that TSR could find in, especially since he doesn't have Letter either.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, if LA is Song of Storms locked, it's no big deal for Condi, because he's got all the medallions needed to get Song of Storms. So all he has to do is just warp to CAC, get the song, and then figure it out. But he doesn't have that much further to go in Fire Temple anyway. I think there's only another, after this chest, 2 checks.
Yeah, it's like 3 at this point. You got the bow chest, the next...
Yeah, bow chest, blue bow chest, and that's... Oh, and the falling room.
One chest in the falling room. So the boss key obviously has to be one of those, but fairly late into it. TSR is also at this point going to enter on into Forest Temple. Once again, has not found the Kokiri sword, so that's going to be... That is a major disadvantage that he has had this seed, especially knowing that Deku Tree is way of the hero.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be getting the Kokiri sword right here, because the only thing he can do in this room he's going into is get that chest. Like, he can't do the block room. Oh yeah, he does have strength. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot. He does have strength. So he will be getting Kokiri sword here eventually. But I mean, at this point, like, he's just eons behind Konditioner. Like, it's pretty over for him unless Kondi just, like, you know, straight up dies in his chair. Like,
Yeah. Now, Kondi very, very much still could close this out with a 230-ish seed, with getting any of the last required items. Like, again, ideally, it's going to be the long shot that Kondi finds. Just get done with water. There's the boss key. Still, at this point, you've committed this much time. If I'm Kondi, I'm not going to save and go back to the start. I'm going to get that last chest. But Kondi is Kondi. Kondi's making the decision. Nope. Fuck that chest.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to the boss.
I mean, I kind of like just saving out. Like, I mean, that last chest is a long way into Forest Temple. Like, from that point, like, sure, you gotta go, like, oh, TSR went the wrong way. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Falling Block Room is, like, pretty far into Forest Temple. Like, it's almost near the end. So, yeah, if that chest is light arrows, that's a huge, like, keck. But I think in most of the time, not getting that chest is the play. Just ignoring it, because most of the time you'll be right. And if
Yeah.
he's wrong, it's just really hilarious for us.
True. Alright, TSR getting into the Kokiri Storm room. Kondi heading into Phantom Ganon. This will be number 5 of the 6 required stones and medallions to finish up the seed.
This will actually be 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is Kondi's last dungeon. So after he beats Forest Temple, he'll be going straight to Ganon's. He'll be learning where that boss key or the light arrows are, and then he'll be on his merry way to go get them.
So I did the thing earlier where I thought he had more medallion stones than he actually had, and now I'm doing the thing where I thought he had less. Very good. I'm very proud of myself. Excellent. Perfect one cycle from Kondi on Phantom Ganon. Perfect. Going straight for the light arrow hint here, for sure. And yep.
One cycle Phantom Ganon being super duper easy with the Bigoron sword. TSR went the wrong way again. He keeps forgetting to climb the ladder.
TSR, no.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Climb the ladder. That's right. Push the block. Alright, there's Kondi's 6th dungeon. Luckily, saving and quitting takes him right to Market. So he'll be right there in front of Ganon's castle. Waltzes by all of the trials, straight up the stairs. Maybe he'll probably open validation chest on the way.
You know, light arrows could be in Ganon's tower, Ganon's castle. So you never know. Validation chest. I've had light arrows be in validation chest before. So
Yep.
you never know.
So I guess the worst places for light arrows, probably Jabu. Ganon's tower, probably having to search out the gold gauntlets.
Yeah, I was gonna say outside Ganon's castle would be a slap in the face, because that is going to be a gold gauntlets lock check that you can get the hint for with only having one strength upgrade.
Yeah.
And
I mean, outside Ganon's castle or inside Ganon's castle, because I mean, they do have the key ring, sure, but they don't have strength. So, but there is a chance that Spirit Trial, Water Trial, Forest Trial, they could have an easy check in there. But I mean, yeah, Strength 3 locked is probably their worst nightmare.
absolutely.
Condi here gonna roll on up to the second part. This is the validation chest. Probably gonna take the time to check it just in case, because if it does happen to be the case, you're right there anyway. Why not? TSR going to
Condi
be
pausing.
one check away from the boss key.
Condi pausing for some reason. Maybe a bathroom break.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Maybe just like couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, checking my Discord just to make sure we're all good. Okay, we're all good. Condi might have also gotten a phone call. Yeah, Condi does get bugged on the phone by people quite often, so it's a very good guess. All right, TSR is out of well, he's in the graveyard. Hopefully he goes to Deku Tree now, but oh, he's going to check CAC archery. Oh wait, he doesn't have a bow. So I guess he's not going to check CAC archery.
Did he not finish Forest?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't
He
have
doesn't
a bow.
have bow. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Oh, I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
All right,
So
well,
he's
either
kind of out of
way,
options.
yeah.
And we know where that bow is. It's in a really memey spot, so he's probably not gonna find it. It's a shame that he never. I don't think TSR knows where his adult spawn is because he's walking all the way back to castle here. So I'm pretty sure TSR is just never save and quit as adult.
Yeah, saving quit also on that EverDrive load time, probably not necessarily his favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Either way, Condi rolling up onto Ganon here. My prediction, I'm a curse it. It's gonna be outside Ganon's castle. Here we go. What have we got?
Ah! It's inside Ganon's castle. Okay, that could be bad. That could be bad.
Oh no.
Okay, so Condi's probably like, oh man, here we go. So he's got 3 strikes and then he's out. So
Spirit trial, forest trial, water trial.
yeah, if it's in none of those, it's gonna be a long journey to find the other 2 strengths. We know that there's no strength in Child Side Spirit. I can't even think of where else there might be. Ice Cavern. All right, strike 1.
First strike down. Oh, the heart is pumping. Oh no! If you, the less things that are left, the more you're just like, oh god, oh fuck, please no.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Snopey. I was doing a little bit of buffering earlier, so you probably fell behind then. My internet has pretty much evened out. All right, here we go. 2 checks in water trial. There's the light arrows.
There it is. All right. Condi pulling out another bottle.
Yeah, drinking a cold one back, just to celebrate, emptying out his bottle. It's okay, Snopey. It's okay. This is the very first seed of the tournament. We've got a lot more time to get Mimi seeds.
All right, Condi here looking to close this out around the 2-hour 15-minute mark. Incredibly strong performance. I believe this is the fastest required seed that anybody's done, like prelim and then like obviously your tournament race seed.
Yeah. Like imagine all the seeds I generated for you guys last year with that rule set. We had some pretty long races last year. I don't actually know what the shortest race was last year, but
I know what the longest one was, and I was commentating it. It was fucking funny the entire time because we were just like, oh god, what if CAC archery was the light arrows or something? And both people that were doing it did CAC archery without the bow, so of course they both got purple rupees from that.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
All right, Condi with a brilliant first cycle Ganon.
Very well done. TSR just now in the Deku Tree, but unfortunately it's not really going to amount to much at this point. It would, again, literally take Condi dying in his seat here for TSR to really pull this out.
So, heading on into the Ganon fight, we are... this is the part where you super slide into the fight and just get disqualified for cheating, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So a lot of people do the crouch stabbing on Ganon. I was actually watching ZFG yesterday, and he said that on the second phase of Ganon, it's fast to crouch stab the first time in the second phase, but after that, because the tail raises up, it's actually faster to jump slash the rest of them. So I wonder if Condi was paying attention to that, because I notice everyone likes doing their crouch stabs.
And crouch stabs are definitely just like what you want to do, but yeah, with the way that tail raises up, it's very, very annoying to do that the first time around. So yeah, very good first phase. Pick up the Master Sword.
I love jump slashing just because I like the way it looks, even though I play on N64 and jump slashing is really, really laggy. Alright, Condi coming up on time. He's only got another 4 hits to go, I think. Condi with the missed crouch stab. He's having fun with Ganon.
Couple more, getting knocked back. Oh no.
Playing with his food.
Condi, please.
Yeah,
Okay,
Condi with a lullaway looking Ganon fight here. Okay, Condi getting his bearings, taking a step back, needs to get angled right. Alright, he's going up, he's going down.
2 more to go.
Alright, here we go.
I will head on over and inform TSR that
I'll just drag him in.
Okay. Doing it differently from last time.
Yeah, last year I went in and informed, but this year we're putting a stop to these races right away. Alright.
Alright.
Good seed from Condi, 212. Again, Lolloway called almost every single thing in this seed. I got a 212.49, Condi got a 212.42. That's just how it is. Alright, GG's.
Alright.
Alright, GG's, y'all. Condi, congratulations on being the winner of the first race in the Booter 2 tournament. TSR, hopefully you got your headphones on.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, that's okay. Lolloway, I'll have you guys know, is extremely mad in chat because I think he called out every single item before you guys got them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, good first seed.
I had to pause in Ganon's castle because my neighbor knocked on my door and was asking me a question, and I was like, I can't talk right now. Thanks.
Oh. Yeah, we were like, I immediately opened Discord. I was like, is Condi about to say something? Technical difficulties? SHM said, maybe he's got a phone call. Your phone does buzz quite a bit, and yeah. Having to get up for a couple seconds was definitely confusing, but yeah. So, Condi, question, how were you feeling when you learned that light arrows were inside Ganon's castle?
Very scared because I had still had Ganon's keys were Way of the Hero, so it was very interested. I got extremely lucky to even get strength in the first place. The only reason I even went to the back of Shadow and cleared back there is because I was at 29 skulls, and I was like, oh, what can... I was like, fine, you know what? I need the skull. I'll just do the check swung here. And yeah, I was very lucky.
Okay. Yeah, we figured you probably cleared the back of Shadow just because you thought, you know, you're at the end of Shadow, maybe light arrows back here. It's a long way to go back, so... And you probably didn't want to drop Furore's Wind back there as well, so thought, you know, maybe clear it off. You guys did pretty much the same kind of general route leading up to the your first entrances into Forest Temple. TSR did Child Goron City a little bit earlier, and I can't remember what you cleared earlier, but either way, you guys kind of flip-flopped beginning routes. Only difference is, unfortunately, TSR, I think Kondi went into Forest Temple the first time with hover boots. So he was able to get that Kokiri sword nice and early, and that was a pretty rough go right from the beginning. Unfortunately, Bo in a really memey spot in this seed, TSR.
That was very bad.
Yeah,
What was it?
the bow was in the wasteland.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
I was gonna go there after Deku.
yeah, it's
The only
just
reason I went that way is because I was looking for water keys. Because I had water essentially was way of the hero, and I was like, that's the reason why I did that whole roundabout as child. I'm just desperately looking for water keys. That's what I was looking for.
yeah.
Turns out did not need them.
And we thought that I imagine TSR you don't know how to do reverse wasteland at all, so wasteland was super punishing for you since you already have Requiem. You don't really need to go into wasteland from the front to go that way, so it's kind of out of the way. Whereas Kondi kind of did all his checks in Fortress along the way as well. It just happened to run into it. Very good seeing GTG being Baron in this seed. Always nice not having to go in there. And one thing we thought was really funny was all 3 of the Baron hints were the mandatory or the Iron Boots checks. So Water Temple was pretty clear there. Did you have anything to add, Lord Fluffy?
I think everything was covered pretty clearly there.
Yeah. Any I guess now that we're done, we can open up the spoiler log and see if there was any memes. If you guys wondered where any items were.
Water keys, the other 2 bows, and the other 2 strengths.
Yeah, I was crossing my fingers at the end because I was like, oh, they have all the medallions. Gonna have to do or get Song of Storms. Speaking Song of Storms, Water Keys was on Frogs in the Rain.
Mm.
All right. So that's interesting.
Let's see, your progressive bows. Death Mountain Trail, Storm's Grotto. And the other one was in Light Trial.
And the strength?
And the strengths were progressive strength, Bottom of the Well, and Shadow Trial.
Which Shadow Trial?
The front chest.
Oh, okay. Alright. Because I had that concern as well when I was going through it. I'm like, I have no way to check Strength 3 because I don't have fire arrows and I don't have long shot. Actually, where's long shot?
That's a good question because according to the spoiler log, it actually wanted you guys to beat Morpha.
Beat water. Yeah, I had a feeling that was the case because I assumed that the BK is not water locked, water key locked.
Your other your other hook shot was Shadow Temple freestanding key.
Shadow Temple freestanding.
So that would be the one in the pot, yeah.
Pot, yeah. Okay.
So I think that was the only check. Oh, and the Falling Spikes room. You didn't go in that direction in Shadow Temple.
No, I didn't go there. I thought about it because I was like, I need one more skull, but I was like, no. So I was like, no. My idea was actually no. What I'll do is I'll check 30 skulls and check archery, and I can get 30 skulls from the skull and cack as a dole. And then I got back there and I'm like, no, I'll just do it here because I can do 3 checks while I'm here. And part of it was, yeah, I wanted 30 skulls, and part of it was, yeah, I don't really want to go to the back of Shadow Temple again. So,
yeah. TSR, any thoughts on the seed at all?
I don't know. I mean, how'd you guys like my casual playthrough? It was pretty fun, right?
I mean, I thought you were making really good decisions at the beginning. A couple of the checks that you got later on, we saw you had on your tracker as Baron, the right hand of the Colossus statue, and and the
I don't think the Flare Dancer was marked, but we.
Oh
did
yeah,
see
that's right. TSR never found the Flare Dancer hint, the one at the top of Fire Temple.
I wrote that one down wrong first. Actually, the Spirit Temple one, I wrote it down as Mirror Shield check,
Oh yeah,
and then
Yeah.
I read it
yeah.
again. And it
Her
said
right,
and
not
I said-
your right.
Well, no, I actually read it as left. I thought it said left. So
Oh, okay.
I just misread it. What is on skulls? 30 skulls actually.
30
I
skulls.
think it's the one hit I didn't get. 30
Let's,
skulls.
where did I put the? Oh, let's see here. I'll just go down to the hints for that one. 30 is a blue rupee.
Okay.
So nice.
Having
Let's
both-
see where was the 30 skull hint, because neither of you guys found it.
It has to be a Song of Storms Grotto.
Hyrule Castle Rockwall,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
and the
another
other one was yeah, Kokiri Forest Storms Grotto.
Yeah, all storms. Yeah. I don't think bow was that bad. Like I know you could have gotten it early, but what did it do? It didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Actually,
really.
yeah, no, because you had to go to Hylia no matter what. So it
Yeah,
was
we've-
either, yeah.
We thought you guys were gonna be doing a strengthless seed for a little while, because we were. I was thinking, like water temple, but then I mean, obviously with strength, forest temple was just such an easy like, let's go do forest temple.
Yeah.
We weren't sure. I guess your dip into forest temple when you walked in, grabbed the first chest, the skull, and then dipped out. That was just for the skull, yeah.
Once again, yeah. Well, it was for the skull. That's not a bad play either because it doesn't really cost you any extra time too much to do that. And I forgot that I didn't have Song of Time again, which I did earlier in the seed too, which is why I had to save and quit out of Dampe's race because I thought I had Song of Time.
Yeah.
I marked it like I had it because I knew where it was, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I saw it on my tracker. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got it. All right, that's cool." And then I realized I forgot to untick it off whenever I was marking it where I needed to mark it.
Yeah.